Okay, this is the legal principles of e-business. I don't know if I've ever told you guys this, but I'm not a lawyer. I'm not. I know we have had a faculty here who was professed to be a perfect lawyer, but I am not. So I will give you some information here, but I am not a lawyer. Not even a little bit. I don't teach cyber law. I don't think I'd ever want to. But there are some aspects of it that pertain to this class, which we're going to talk about. Okay? All right. E-commerce law, it says, relies on similarities between electronic. Yes, sir?
Did it start the second recording?
Yes, it started. Let me make sure. Yep, it's recording. Yep, it's going. Okay. Thanks for asking, though, because I have skipped that before. So, it relies on similarities between electronic and paper-based transactions. If you think about it, when law started years and years ago, we didn't have e-commerce, we didn't have the internet, we didn't have electronic stuff. But we're always trying to make them work the same. And they mention here how the law always plays catch-up. Because what's the latest thing in Oklahoma? They're banning texting while driving. 20 years ago, did we have to ban texting while driving? No, because we didn't have texting. So we're always playing catch-up to the new stuff that's happening out there, okay? The rudimentary process, we have vendors, they present products. So Amazon's got a list of stuff on their website. They tell me the price and they tell me the terms. The terms are as in, we're going to ship this to you for free and it's got a 1-year warranty, that kind of stuff, okay? I consider it, okay? You might not think about it, but I mean, is there anyone who ever goes to more than one website to buy stuff? I do all the time, okay? But yeah, you know, if you can go to Home Depot and Lowe's will match actually anybody's prices, plus 10%. Because I wanted a little vacuum to vacuum out my fireplace. It was made just for vacuuming ashes. Well, they had it at Lowe's, and they also had it at Walmart. It was like $10 cheaper at Walmart. So I went to Lowe's with a flyer from Walmart, and they matched the price plus 10% off, and then gave me my military 10% off. So I was like, sweet, so I got 20% off. So, but yeah, we all consider our options. Do we ever negotiate?
Not online. Well,
Sure you do.
Craigslist.
Yeah, Craigslist is a prime. eBay, we're always negotiating. Heck, even when I did at Lowe's, if you think about it, I was negotiating. Hey, I found it cheaper over here. Can you match that price? So, happens a lot. A lot of times we'll place orders. Okay. My wife's got some of this auto shipping stuff. Anyone ever done that yet with Amazon? If you buy something and you get a little bit cheaper if you sign up for auto shipping every 6 months. We did it for dog food for a while. And they tell you like every 6 weeks, all right, we're going to ship you some more dog food. You ready for it? Well, guess what happens if you forget to say no to that email? You get more dog food. Well, some other items she had bought. She had actually bought toilet paper. Which, fine, because you need toilet paper. But we kind of have a lot at the moment. She didn't see the email that more toilet paper was coming. She said, no, we have extra toilet paper. So we place our orders. We pay for it. Okay? And that's another thing that changes. I mean, the way we pay for things. I mean, wow. There's a million options there. And then usually deliver the products to us. What happens if I never get my product?
You contact the people and they'll send you another one free.
Right, I contact the people and they send me another one for free, or I contact my credit card and hey, I never got this. I bought, I got a cell phone charger. I thought they were stupid. Why would you need a stupid cell phone charger? But I'll tell you, there's some days when I'm out for 12 and 14 hours and your phone's dying. It's just a little battery backup you plug in. Okay. Well, I think it was Moto Hub or some Moto Sub had them for a really good deal. And I read the reviews and everybody said, wow, they suck to get a hold of. But the products are okay and they have good prices. So I bought two. It was like, buy two of these for 20 bucks. I'm like, hell, why not? So I bought two of them, paid shipping, paid everything. I get a note in the mail from my mail carrier. Insufficient postage. So what do? Well, hell no, I've already paid shipping on the thing. They just didn't put enough on there. So I basically told them, nope, you send them back. Contacted my credit card company, said, oh, I never received it. Got my money back. So basically they didn't fulfill the options of negotiation. They didn't pay shipping, so I didn't have to pay a darn thing. So, and a lot of times when you do stuff like that, Virginia bought some headbands, some plastic headbands. They were broken. So she contacted Amazon and said, hey, these are broken. Guess what they did?
Send her new ones.
Sent her new ones. What'd she have to do with the old ones?
Throw them away.
Just throw them away. There's no value in those things. I got some A6 tennis shoes. They come with a 2-year warranty? I never knew that. Because it's actually not this bare, but my sole was coming off in one corner. I even tried the old shoe goo, but it kept coming off. So I messaged them, like, here you go, send us in your old ones, as long as they're not excessively worn, which they weren't. They were from, sent me a new pair of shoes. I was like, sweet. So a lot of stuff is changing in that area. Okay, so there are a difference. It says legal requirements for reducing agreements to signed writings. The whole signing thing becomes an issue with a lot of different things. Okay? Applying rules to evidence of electronic information. So if you have an email, when did it originate? So it's electronic. There's no real hard copy of it. Okay? Adapting standards for authentication is another issue as well. What happens if someone gets it on your laptop? Is it really you or is it not? How can we create enforceable digital contracts or paper-based contracts? What about signatures? All that stuff matters. Okay? Time day stamps. I sold a timeshare recently, and most of the paperwork I signed electronically. Most of it. But the actual deed I had to sign on a piece of paper, get it notarized, send it in. Why do I have to do that, you think?
Prove that it was you, because you gotta do that through the notary and then,
They had to prove it was me, had to go through a notary. And when it comes down to things like property, things that might go through many different hands, they like to have a record of that. It's like when you buy a house, you want to make sure you have a clear title, so they do a title search. And when you pay for a title search, it includes some insurance, which basically says, hey, if we do this check and it's screwed up, this insurance is going to fix it for you. Because wouldn't it suck if you're in a house and someone just shows up and, oh, sorry, dude, you're in the wrong house. Actually, there was a news article about a month ago where this family bought some vacant land next to some other vacant land, built a house onto it, then the person who owned the other vacant land showed up and says, no, dude, you built your house on my property. I don't know the outcome of that, but can you imagine if you bought lot 1, but you actually built the house on lot 2? So what happens to the guy that owns lot 2? He gets a free house. So I don't know the outcome of that, but I was like, wow, that would be...
You have to go down and do property, it takes a lot of time and an investigation. You have to hire property records.
But they proved that they should have built it on property 1, but they didn't. They built it on property 2. So it's really the builder's fault. So hopefully someone's got insurance for this. But does property 2 owners get to keep the free house? Because you can't pick up and move over.
Not necessarily.
Well, yeah, that's I've seen those.
Literally stole the house off its foundation.
Yes, I've seen those. Well, that's normally the smaller little shack houses, but like mobile homes and stuff. But it's just crazy. How about witnesses, notaries? Can that be done electronically? Again, to some aspect, yes. Okay, but not totally. This is contracts. This is the heart of legal e-commerce infrastructure, binding agreement between 2 parties. So is there a contract on eBay when you sell something?
yeah.
Yes, there is. It's all electronic, but yes, there is a contract. Okay? All right, so there's 2 differences between electronic and traditional. Less need for paper, less need for people. I deposit checks all the time with my mobile banking app, and every time I do it, you know what I think about? Who's losing their job? Because in the past, you used to take these checks into the bank, and the cashier had to be there, or teller had to be there, and it's like, wow. So I see more and more stuff like this is going to happen. Okay, similarities permit functional equivalencies. They come together to transact. We do that on eBay. I make a bid, you accept it. So we really might have done it across the world, but we still did it. Intend by parties to create a binding contract. Again, eBay is a prime example of that. I offer you whatever, and you accept it. I bought some firewood last fall, and I wasn't overly pleased with the quality of it. It was somewhat old wood. So the guy messaged me yesterday. He says, hey, I want to go on a trip. I want to sell you some wood at a discount. I said, I wasn't too pleased with the wood last year. He goes, no, this is totally green. which is what I want. If you buy Greenwood now, it'll be great by Christmas time. But we were negotiating. We still haven't finished negotiating. But, everything, even though I'm not signing documents, still, I bought wood from the guy. We negotiated the price. I paid him. He gave me the wood. So we still made somewhat of a contract. Okay? Intent to document contract for enforceability. That could be a check. That could be something in writing. I mean, y'all notice when you enroll in classes now, at least if you do it through the advisor, you got to sign something saying, I'm going to pay for these classes. So, yeah. All right, laws or law sources. There's common law, there's civil law, there's statutory law. Again, this is the stuff I'm not really there on, okay? There's courses for dealing with people. There's provisionings for dealing between people. And my grandfather died and left $250,000 in a trust for my kids to go to school. But my father could also use it to upkeep the farm he was living at. Well, my kids went to school, and I wanted to get some money out to pay for their tuition, and it was like pulling teeth. So I went to Judy Shaw, one of our lawyers here in the building, told her what I knew. So she wrote up a little quick legal something. It's amazing. She mailed it to this guy, boom, check in the mail like 1 week. Because, Ken Dewey asking for it's a little bit different than, lawyer Judy Shaw and all these big legal words. So, it's kind of fun, okay? Contract validity, how long is it good for? You have, like, a lot of times, like, actually this time of year I'm doing all the purchase requests for technology funds, in other words, computers and stuff like that for the classrooms. But I have to get the quotes now in April, and what are most quotes good for? 30 days. Yet we're not going to buy until July. So I always have to tell the vendors, I realize this quote's will give for 30 days. But we're not buying it till July. They're always like, oh, that's fine. But then why'd you put 30 days on it? That always drives me crazy. But okay. How a contract normally works, we have an offer. Hey, would you like to buy this pair of shoes? Okay. Then yes, I'd like to buy this pair of shoes. Then okay, here's some money for it. Even at Walmart, that's what you do. You walk through the aisle, you find the products you want, you go to the cashier, I want to buy this, you give them some money, and it's over. There's the three aspects of it, okay? Now, validity is not always the same as enforceability. It might be a totally valid contract, in other words, it was signed by two parties, but if I'm going to hire you to kill somebody, totally valid contract. Again, I'm not hiring you to kill anybody, in case anyone's reading this. But if I hired you to kill somebody, and we had a nice little contract, we signed it, got it notarized, that's a valid contract, but it is an enforceable contract. Now, if we watch movies, it probably is. But wasn't there a movie called The Enforcer? But still, it's not an enforceable. Even though it's a valid contract, it's not enforceable. Okay, ingredients, also mutual assent.
Wouldn't it also depend on what country you live in?
That's true. It's probably okay to kill somebody.
If you had a contract to say you were supposed to kill Abib's wife and you don't kill Abib's wife.
That's true. Then I could be killed for not killing.
Exactly. I'd
Yes,
say
that's
it
true.
probably depends on.
Yeah.
Murder is legal in the Middle East.
Yes, I know.
Unless you're American.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, so mutual assent, an offer and acceptance. Hey, you want to buy this? Yes, I would like to buy this. So what if this guy wants to sell me this firewood and I never say yes? And he just delivers firewood at my house. It's not really my wood because I didn't buy it. But am I legally? No, I don't have to pay for it because I didn't buy it. So, we have to have offer and acceptance. We also have to have terms. When are we going to get this? How are we going to pay for this? And so on and so forth. Okay. Digital contract. Software. You ever install software? What do half of them tell you? Read this 18 pages of something and say yes? We all read those, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay. No one ever reads that crap. Okay. But the answer is yes. Somebody just recently bought some software at Best Buy. And now when you buy a computer, what's it come with?
A bunch of crap you don't need.
Bunch of crap you don't need. And they didn't want Windows on it. So they would not agree to the terms when you first turned the computer on. Best Buy had to remove it. So they said, no, I bought this computer. I don't want Windows. And they kept saying, no, you have to agree to the terms. Like, no, I don't want Windows. So they actually went some sort of court action, and Best Buy had to remove the software. Because they didn't want it. And they were like, well, just sell me a computer without it. And they said, we can't. And they're like, well, I don't want it. I said, well, you have to use it. And it basically gets down to it. The judge says, no, they don't have to use it. They had to use it, then why did they even agree on there? Because so they ended up removing it. So kind of a weird deal.
But by them doing it, it legally gets through the loophole of him voiding the contract.
Exactly. He didn't void the hardware or anything because they removed it.
Exactly.
Right.
Therefore, the computer is still under warranty because he did not remove the.
That's probably why he did it. He didn't want to void his warranty of the hardware, which is kind of crazy. Okay. All right, acceptance must be contemporaneous. In other words, timing is everything. Both people must normally, like you're signing, like notaries, got to be in the same room. Sign a title, sign your name 40 times in the same room with someone. Okay. Normally, you're in the same room to physically sign it, or it could be synchronous forms over the telephone, or could email. Could you accept something through email? Sure, you can. We accept a lot of things through email. Got a meeting request at 2 o'clock today. Accept or decline. Accepting the contract, all through email.
Can they legally prove that it was you?
Well, that's when it comes down to, okay, Ken Dewey's account accepted it, and that had to be done through Ken Dewey's login. Now, again, if I left my machine open, like the guy sits in the back of my office, his machine's been logged in all night long.
But what if I got ahead and got your password and all that stuff, like if we were just talking about last
Right.
period?
If you did, that's the whole point. It's the whole authentication issue. Whose fault is that? So could I really say, well, you know, I didn't really do that, but we have proof you said yes. But then I would have to say, you know, hey, someone stole my password.
How could I say yes from Japan?
Well, there was a guy actually in the news today about one of them white supremacist guys. Was at some college working as a work study for this guy who was supposedly molesting children. Okay. And he killed him. But obviously, he even admitted to the judge, I did kill him because he's molesting children. At least I got one more child molester off the face of the earth. The problem is there's no proof. No one ever reported the child molestation going on. So I'm assuming if they had reported that, it would have been better for this guy. But since no one reported, there was no record of it, they really couldn't prove that other one ever happened. So, you know, it's just weird. Okay? It's just weird. Okay, this last one. UCC dictates the time of dispatch, not the time of receipt. That is the time that matter. Okay? So, when I send you an email, think about it. If I send you something, it goes by the date and time I sent it, not when you received it. Isn't that kind of weird? We were actually talking about this to Jim Hester yesterday. Was it Jim Hester? It was someone yesterday. They installed a new iron port. You know what iron port is? Iron port is a firewall system, like we have here at Roast Steak. They installed a new system, and there was a very long backlog of email. Well, this company sent in a bid on a project for this company that did not get received in time. Okay? Because the iron port was a backlog on the system, and it never got there in time. So basically, when they called them like, are we being considered for their bid? And they're like, no, your bid did not get in time. Well, they were able to prove that they sent it prior to the due time. Just because it didn't get there in time, they still sent it in time. Okay, so I used to do work for aerospace reports. They did aircraft title searches, kind of like you do for a house title, you do for aircraft. And they would hold money in escrow. Okay, if you don't know what escrow is, say you're buying an airplane or a house, something like that. You put down good faith money. Say like you're going to put down $500, which means I want you to accept my offer. Here's some money so you know I'm legit. Do the same thing with airplanes. And even when you're doing the actual purchase of an airplane, you transfer the money to the title company and then they pay for the plane with it. And it was always so funny because their documents specifically say, receipt by 3:30 on Friday, or it will be processed the next business day. Makes sense. But it was funny because they had it happened many times since over the years I was working for them. People would send it in too late. They would send in the contract and transfer the money at like 3:35 on a Friday. Guess what happens?
You get a late fee?
Well, no. The aerospace would then hold the money until Monday. So See, aerospace would receive the funds and then transfer it to the, if you're buying a plane from me, I receive the funds from you, then I give them to the purchaser, okay? Or seller. Yeah, it would be the seller. But they would love it. She goes, oh, she would love getting those things just past 330 because they'd sell a $20 million airplane. So you receive $20 million in at 335. So what if you're only holding it in your account till Monday? Can you imagine the interest on $20 million for a weekend? No, it's a lot more than that. My checking account this last month alone, I made $18 in interest. It's like $17,000 average balance. And that's only 1% interest on $17,000 in 1 month, $18. Can you imagine $20 million? That's gotta be thousands and thousands of dollars. But they would always be, I'd show up there sometimes on Friday, they're always in a really great mood, and what's going on? Oh, we just got one that came in late again. And they're like, yes. So, because they normally receive it, and right then, as soon as they received it, transfer it out. Oh, came in after 3:30. We'll just hold this to Monday morning, 8 o'clock.
Site goes down conveniently till.
Yeah, exactly. So it's, but that whole, when it was sent is a really big issue. Okay. All right, defining terms. Acceptance of terms that do not mirror the original terms are considered new terms. Okay. So I want to buy this pair of shoes from you for $20. And you come to me and say, well, I'll give it to you for 19 or say 21, whatever. It's a total new deal because we didn't agree on the original terms. So if they're not exactly the same, it's considered a new offer or a counteroffer. Okay? I do that stuff all the time. It's like they called me today. They want me to go to Stinkin' Sonic for the 4 billionth time. They're like, we give you $12. I said, no, I'll do it for 15. They're like, okay. So I did not accept their original offer. I made a counter offer of 15, so they accepted that, so now I'm getting for 15. So, tell you, if you guys want to go to Sonic, I can hook you up. It's like, just 77 times last
I'm
month.
sure your dogs love it though.
And what was it? I went to Sonic 2 nights ago, and I literally couldn't eat any of it. I'm like, no. Took it home, wasn't even open. I'm like, here you go. Just eat away. But yeah, kids love it, dogs love it. I just get so tired of it. Yeah, this morning, guess what I stopped for breakfast?
Sonic.
Half-price burgers.
It is April 15th. You get all kinds of tax day specials.
So I gotta. See, normally I don't buy burgers at Sonic because they only reimburse me $5.80, and normally the burger combo is like $6. So you gotta get the 6-inch chili cheese coney, and that fits under the $5.80. But I got a burger this morning. So all right, so. I know how it all works, yes. So vendors and purchasers may negotiate terms via their own forms, or, see, here's the big issue. We have something called Battle of Forms. When Rose State originally got student email, it was through a company called Outblaze out of Amsterdam. If you don't know anything about it, there's 2 areas in the world, the RIPE network, and RIPE network is in Amsterdam, and the Asia Pacific network, which is in Asia Pacific. Those are the 2 largest spam capitals of the world. Okay. Well, we signed up through Outblaze, which ended up being transferred and bought by IBM. But still, it took like an additional year to get student email because their forms in their country aren't what we use here. So we'd send them our forms, they would change it, send back their form. We would change it, send back, and it took literally a year because we were paying like $75,000 a year for student email. It's like crazy. And I kept saying, Google's free, Google's free, Google's free. And about 3 years later, they finally said, oh, wow, hey, Google's free. Wow, imagine that. So, okay.
How much did it cost to port everybody's student emails over to Google though?
Oh, we didn't port anything. That's why we told students, no, at the end of this semester, we're not copying any mail over. Creating the new accounts is no big deal. We just linked our PeopleSoft system in, we just exported the user accounts and done. It was instantly. That's how it works now. If you new student enrolling today, tonight you're in the system. So yeah, we had to do some software programming on our end, but no, there was nothing ported over from the old system at all. That was a big money deal. It was going to cost tons of money to export it. And we said, no, at this day, your old email is gone, so get it or you lose it. So, okay. The battle of forms is a big deal. Typically result in the favor of the offerer. So you're going to offer me something. Sooner or later, I'm going to have to accept what you're offering me. Okay? Because if you offer me something and I keep coming back with something different, you're going to be like, no, that's not what I asked for. So, all right. So is it possible to have a battle of digital forms? Yes, the same thing. You know, we don't agree on what we're doing. So, all right, fraud. So some contracts must be in writing, like marriage contracts. Okay, land agreements, where I talked about that, or contracts not performed for 1 year. So I'm going to hire you to do something for me next year. That normally has to be done in writing, so you have something to track. Okay? Electronic communications, contact, written materials now? I'd say yes, pretty much. It's getting to that point where, so much is done electronically. Okay. Signatures, digital signatures. I'm going to go pay taxes today. I'm out of time. I owe them money, so I got to pay them today. Do you think I'm actually going to sign with a pen? No, it's all going to be done electronically. Okay? More and more is going that way. How about this? Any symbol made adopted with the intention, actual or apparent, to authenticate in writing as that of the writer. So pretty much you can sign anything. And a lot of times now, every time I do one of these mystery shops, I have to sign a contract. I just write my name, type my name actually, and that's considered my signature. Okay? Federal government has given digital signatures power of law, obviously for taxes and lots of other things. Okay, EDI, electronic data interchange transactions, where technology proves they can be done, it works quite as well, just as well. Breach, that's failure to comply. I bought that backup phone for my cell phone, and they did not comply with the contract. They might have shipped it to me. They didn't pay shipping, though, even though I already paid them shipping. Okay? Anticipatory repudiation. I'm going to intend not to comply. Okay? I'm going to do something with the intention not to complete it. Okay? I think there's a lot of people that do that. A lot of people sign up for classes just to get the Pell Grant money. They don't ever plan on finishing. Okay? Same kind of thing. Okay? Enforcement is address the liability of parties, what happens and what may be awarded. You always hear about people suing people over whatever and stuff like that. Enforcement. Malicious. Are you trying to harm me? That's a big deal now. Everybody's suing everybody about everything. Okay. In compliance, perfect tender. It says buyers can reject everything otherwise. Okay. So, what is perfect tender? I did a search on that, and that's the best. Oh, no, it isn't. 2 slides. I'll show you what it is. So, perfect tender is the seller or lister has an obligation to ship or tender conforming goods, and the buyer is required to accept as long as they're what they ask for. A big issue there is eBay. A lot of times you don't get what you ask for. Or it's just not right. Okay, the UCC says, when dealing with sale of goods, the perfect tender rule states that the buyer is permitted to reject goods shipped or delivered from a seller if the seller's tender of the goods is not in some way not perfect. So in other words, it's not what I asked for. This is damaged. I don't have to pay for it. Okay. But a lot of time that comes into does anyone ever get something in the mail and you don't use it for a few months? I've done that. And it's like, oh crap, it's too late to send it back now. Okay, so trying to find a picture of perfect tender, and here's what I found. Come on, doesn't that look perfect? Nice and tender and juicy, and yeah. So that's all I can find for perfect tender. Okay. Evidence. Yes, sir.
Sometimes I buy a computer part that I know I'm going to need eventually, but
Yes.
I don't need it yet,
Right.
and I end up never really needing it, and I just upgrade whatever it was I needed it for.
Right.
But then when I send it back, they give me the amount that it goes for now, not the amount that I bought it for.
Right, and that's actually a big issue. Now, there's a change to that. Say I went to Walmart and bought something today for $5, and it goes on sale tomorrow for $4. So if I bring it back tomorrow with my receipt from today, they got to give me the $5. But if I bring it back tomorrow without a receipt, how do they know I didn't buy it tomorrow? So that's why a lot of times they'll give you the current value. And a lot of times, if you're buying something and return it that you never used, they'll actually charge you a restocking fee, which sucks. It's minus 20%. It's like, I could go buy a cell phone from Apple or AT&T, use it for 14 days, return it, get my money back, minus restocking fee. unless it was damaged. So then it makes you think, should I smash it? If it was damaged, I get my money back. And they'll probably want to give me the same phone. You know, it's funny, when I switched to AT&T years ago, it was like when the iPhone 3 was out or something, I wanted to do it. But I told the guy, you know, I want to switch. And he really wanted the commission for getting me to switch, because I'll tell you what to do. Because the iPhone wasn't out yet. It was coming out 2 weeks later or something. He's like, buy this stupid red phone, whatever it was. And whatever, the iPhone was being released before my trial period was up, so it was perfect. He goes, come on in the day the iPhone's released and say, you know, this phone, the quality's terrible, I just can't quite hear. Don't tell me it's in perfect condition, because then I got to charge you a restocking fee. But you weren't pleased with it because it just didn't work in your neighborhood, so you want to try a different phone. No restocking fee, no nothing. But it's the problem of sending something back that you've never used. Yeah. I bought a grow light. You know what a grow light is? For plants? Maybe not for marijuana. I bought it for celery, believe it or not.
True.
I brought, you know how you can take celery, cut off the bottom, put it in water, and then plant it, and it'll grow into more celery. You can have celery forever. But for some reason, I do that and I keep getting bugs. I don't know why. But I brought a grow light to put over top of this. Well, I never opened it. Because as soon as my celery started growing, it got bugs. I'm like, where the hell are these bugs coming from? They're in my house. There's no bugs in here. But little teeny black gnats would appear on there. So this is multiple years ago. I actually brought it back to Walmart like a week ago. Because it's been sitting in my bedroom against the wall for years. So it was over spring break. I looked. I'm like, I wonder if Walmart still sells it. Oh, sure enough, they still sell it. So I went to Walmart. And I says, yeah, I just bought this. When did you buy it? I don't know, a week ago? Yesterday? I don't know. I just can't find the receipt. They gave me a Walmart gift card. It's good for it. Now, if I told them I bought it 2 years ago, they were like, no, sir. No.
But I've known people who save the boxes for crap.
Yeah.
Like,
And repackage it and bring it back?
Yeah.
Yes. But this was still sealed. It was in one of those plastic containers that you need like a blowtorch to get into. And God, you know what I'm talking. It was a big, long, 24-inch fluorescent light thing, but it was sealed like crazy. So it's been in my house for years and it's never broken into.
Clean the dirt off.
But yeah, they gave me my money back, so it was kind of cool. Okay, so no idea we got there, but okay. So evidence is a big deal. When did you buy this? When did you pay for it? What did you pay for it? Oh, that's a real big part of it. Integrity is the key to your evidence. You know how easy it is to fake receipts? First of all, did you know a digital copy of a receipt is considered an original?
Do you know how easy it is to modify?
Yes, they are. It's like, oh my God, easy. So one of my students on the grant sent in their grades yesterday to Cameron. Okay, Cameron just went in, our D2L grade book's in XML. I don't know if you know that. You can actually right-click on it to view source and change your grade. Now, it's not going to save it to the system, but if you just want to get a picture and showing a picture of your grade, dude, Cameron had his grade. He had 10 million out of 100. He was got a massively high grade. So, okay. So for digital assessments to be admissible in court, they must prove authentication by origin and content. So content's easy. We can make a digital digest of it, stuff like that. So since it's easy to copy and modify digital data, extra evidence may be required. Okay. The court system now, whenever you file a legal brief, it must be 100% electronic. It will no longer accept something on paper. Okay. Evidence, we've got a chain of custody. I think when we get out of here, got a couple minutes. Okay. Chain of custody. We must also some sound transportation process. So if I need to get something from California to New York, and I need to prove chain of custody, how can I do it? I could drive it and carry it with me, yes. Another way.
You can send it with
Courier service?
I can do a courier service, just an easier way. FedEx. FedEx UPS is considered chain of custody. Every place that package goes, whenever it's loaded or unloaded from every vehicle at every stop, it's scanned. So they can track it the entire... Now, obviously, big wreck on the highway, different story. But...
Burns a lot.
Right.
Burns is...
But yeah, that is a total perfect way of getting there.
I think there was a FedEx thing shortly before Christmas a couple years ago.
Lost a lot of stuff.
Yes, and actually all the packages actually burned, and
Oh,
then
nice.
I think the driver ended up committing suicide because he ruined a bunch of people's Christmases.
I could see that. Okay. But they must be able to prove a handling process. You know FedEx, I think it was FedEx. Some Harvard kid for a senior project wrote FedEx, basically said what he was going to do, and they failed his project, said it would never work, and now look at FedEx. The initial idea behind FedEx was there's one hub in the entire nation. Basically, every night, all the planes pick up their packages, fly to this one hub, swap packages, and fly back. It's a great idea. And they said it would never work. Now look at how big and popular they are. It's crazy. Okay? So, reliable software, reliable hardware, reliable physical computer security. And that's how they have it. It's pretty handy. It must prove integrity to create evidence. Okay. Self-authenticating stuff. Newspapers. Court records. I mean, they're all dated. They're all signed. So if you can prove something was in the newspaper at a certain time, it's very easy to digitally sign documents as well. A lot of those have timestamps on them. Okay? Electronic original says any printout or readable insight output should reflect the data. So in other words, that's the whole electronic copy receipt is considered an original. Like I use neat receipts for everything. I don't know if you ever used that software. Absolutely love it. I scan everything. I can find everything. Years down the road. The faucet broke. So I contacted the company and I'm like, basically what it was is, you know how in your faucet got the little screw-in thing at the end? Well, where it screws into was plastic. So it's stripped. Because I changed it to clean it out and put it in and stripped it. So I contacted them like, can you just send me like a new faucet head? And like be $28, but they're like, your sink has a lifetime guarantee. All you gotta do is prove you bought it. So I found the receipt, sent it to them, got a free replacement for free. But yeah, even the IRS, an electronic copy is considered an original, even though we can edit it. But most people don't know how to do that. Okay. Email, not considered as hearsay, but we have this whole business rule. If you use email as a business process, it's considered evidence. We use email as a business process here. So it's considered evidence. Okay? Even though it can be edited. Okay. All right. Time of notice is notification protocol support confirmation raid receipts. Raid receipts and email suck. Okay? Our secretary uses one. All I do is say no. Would you like to send a receipt? No. But, you know, it is there. Conspicuousness, doing so in a clear and obvious manner. That's the whole, you must type yes. Okay? Like in my financial software, if I wanted to delete an account, I got to click delete, then I got to type yes in capital letters, then click delete again. Because they want to make sure you really want to delete this item. Okay? Large contrasting font, you must click here to continue, okay? So, conspicuousness, that could be those I agree prompts, stuff like that, okay? Jurisdiction, that varies where we at, especially with the internet. If it's coming from China, coming from the Middle East, do they even care?
You're reading just from slides again.
Yeah, yes, I love reading slides. No. But, a lot of times we order stuff, especially from Amazon, and does anyone ever get anything from China?
Yeah.
We get stuff all the time, and you can't tell you're buying it from China. What now?
It takes like 30 days to get there.
But a lot of times you don't realize it. You're buying it on Amazon. It's not Amazon Prime, so okay. But you don't realize the stuff's coming, and you don't realize you're getting crap. It's like Apple charging cables. No, don't buy anything online from Amazon about charging cables, because they're never the right ones, and they never work right. So, all right. Negotiations here, okay? It says documents by which their possession confers right. What was the Die Hard one? Remember the bearer bonds they stole from the Nakatomi Plaza? Just by having them, they were their money. Okay. Bill of ladings, same thing. Smart cards. I grab a hold of your cat card from base. There you go. I'm you now. It's got the certificate built in. So, and that's it. Wow. All right. I will either send you an email, but we'll probably just talk about the test on Monday. And yeah, I knew we were going to run out of time today. And I will just move the date back a little bit. Okay? All right. You guys are free to go.